Now, one more thing I want to show you is, so let's say this is the final video that we are going to export, but right now, just make this slightly shorter so that we don't have to zoom out so much every time. Okay, just open this up a bit. Okay, so we have this video which turns into, cuts into this video, and then finally this video cuts into this. Of, like I mentioned before, this is not making sense. In your case, it has to make sense, make it sequential. But let's say when this video cuts into this video, I want a good transition like the ones that you are so used to seeing. So transitions are very easy. What you can do is you can just go on to effects, which can be found here. Okay, and I'll show you a lot of different effects, and what you can go is you can go to video transitions. There's lot many things here that you can do. I'm also going to be probably talking about one of the audio effects that I'll show you. But let's say we have a lot of transitions here. Transitions means what will be the look when it changes into the next video. So let's say we select page peel and just drag it here. Okay, so let's see how this will look. And I'll be telling you how to do that. So instead of just a simple cut, we get this page peel. Okay. Anytime you want to delete that transition, also it's very easy. Everything is clickable in Premiere Pro. Just delete it. You can also right click here, apply default transitions. So you can set any of these transitions as your default. I have set this transition called as, for example, if you just right click on it, you can click on select as default transition. I've already selected this transition called cross dissolve, which I really like. You see, this just gives a very subtle and nice effect. So I can put this in here also, or maybe I can put a different transition, but it's very easy to apply these transitions in Premiere Pro, or to be frank, in any software. This is a pretty easy job. So you can see this also will change into this nicely. Okay. Then you also have, similarly, you have also got effects here, video effects, like you can blur out things, sharpen things, and distort things. Like those are slightly more advanced. You can have fun with them, play around, you can do so much here. But I want to show you one important audio effect. Again, we really cover audio in super detail in my course, Premiere Pro for Beginners. But here I just want to at least show you how to remove some basic noise. So if you go on to audio effects, or you can even search here, you just type noise, and I'll show you some effects here. So under audio effects, you'll find this option which says adaptive noise reduction, or you can also use denoise here, for example. So let me use denoise because adaptive noise reduction was something that they've now made under obsolete audio effects. So Adobe keeps on changing these things every update. So I'm going to use denoise, and if I put it on this audio file, okay, it's just going to make it, you know, really, it's just going to take out some of the noise from it. It was already good because we were recording this from a good expensive mic, the Rode SmartLav Plus, and an expensive audio recorder, the Zoom H1n. But just adding this will even make even more difference, and definitely use this if you're using a cheap mic. Okay, but let's see the effect of this. So you can see that we have used denoise here. I've selected the audio, so it's just under effect controls, it's reflecting whatever the properties of this audio file are, but don't worry about that right now. But let me just run this. A very, very popular recorder by Zoom is the Zoom H1n recorder. So this is with denoise, and now listen to it without denoise. Take your audio to the next level, but as a beginner, can you see that makes a huge difference? Even to the good audio, it's making it even better because we're using the denoise function. So I'm just going to let it play for some time, and I'm just going to hide this, enable this, disable this, and just keep an ear out for it, not an eye out for it. Keep an ear out for it. Maybe try to use headphones right now. Out vlogging, and that relates to your audio. Enable. So one of the most common mistakes made by beginner vloggers is that they tend to use the inbuilt mics in their cameras. Enable. Okay, and doing that can really, really result in... Wow, that for me almost improves it 10 times just by using one effect. And there are so many different effects that I show you in my Premiere Pro for Beginners course. But that's the last time I'm going to mention that. I know it must be getting irritating. So we have this. Now, one last thing before we export this video, which I want to show you, is how to add text, which is very easy. You can just go on to this T-like icon here, and then it's no rocket science, just write anything that you want, you know, and you can see it has its own layer which you can move around. Okay, I can suppose I wanted this to come when the bike ride was going on, so I can get it here. And you can see Adobe Premiere Pro is very good because it just shows you, can you see when I'm dragging this, an icon comes. It just shows me that this is now at the start of this clip, the second clip. I don't even have to like zoom out and do this manually. You can see here. It'll just automatically tell me when that icon comes. And I can just drag it till the time it finishes. It again shows me that. So it's very, very convenient to use these paid editing softwares. And now this is showing up here. I can also do a lot of things with it by going to this essential graphics option when this is selected and change the font, increase the, decrease the size, and all these things. Right now I really want, you can just experiment with all this. And once you do this and you play this, it's just going to come on top of the video. Okay, so that's how you can write your titles and all these things. And of course, a lot of advanced things are possible when it comes to titles. Right now I'm probably not going to discuss it. Okay. Apart from all this, the final thing that you're going to do is export your video. So let's say we are done with editing our video. So the final thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to the starting of this video. Okay, right at the start. And I'm going to press I, just like you did for the source monitor. When you selected the in point, I'm going to select I. And then that sets this in point. And then I have to go here at the end and select O. And a better way to do this is so that you don't have to manually select the endpoint here, work around where the endpoint is. Just keep pressing the down arrow. So when you press the down arrow, it automatically goes to the end of this clip. Press it again, end of this clip. Press the down arrow again and it goes to the end of your last clip. Up arrow takes it back. Okay, like this. And then just press O at the end. You can also, so I and O. So select, okay, let me just clear in and out. I, down, down, down at the end, O. You can also, if you don't want it at the end, you want it somewhere else, you wanted just the video to maybe stop right here, then you can press O here also. So when you go to the export later on, as I'm going to show you, it'll only export this much. Okay, but we want to export the whole video, so we're going to go to the end. And then it's a very simple job. Just go to File, go to Export, and go to Media. You can also press Control M or Command plus M. Okay. And you get a host of different options on how do you want to export this video. Again, I cover this in details in the Premiere Pro course, but right now I'm just going to tell you something very easy. So let's assume that most of you are going to export, you want to upload this video onto YouTube, right? I think 90% of us are going to be doing that, okay? So what you can do is Adobe makes your life very easy here. Under this preset option, what you simply can do is just go on and select YouTube 1080p Full HD. Okay, so because let's say if you shot and your sequence was also Full HD, most likely you want to export it at Full HD also, or if you want to do it at a lesser resolution, you can select those also. This is the one which I mostly use, and then select it. And what happens when you do this, that when you select a preset like this, all these settings here, you really don't have to do anything about them. Okay, they just kind of Adobe just by default fills them up according to the preset that you've selected, and then you just click on, then before clicking on export, just you can, under this output name, you can click here and you can save wherever you want this video. So I can just give it any name, save, and then just click on export, and it's just going to save there after it renders. It's going to take some time depending on how fast your computer is, but right now I'm not going to wait for it fully, but once it's done, it's just going to come over as a final exported video wherever you saved it, all ready to go onto YouTube. Okay, so I hope that you like this long video on editing, and now I'm going to see you in the next video where I'm just going to be talking about how to upload your videos also. So I'll see you there. Bye for now. Right, just before we end, I just wanted to also show you how to add music to your vlog, because that's also important. A lot of vloggers do it, and the process, to be frank, is going to remain the same. Just like we added this audio track here, is going to pretty much remain the same, but I just thought I'll show you anyway. So first of all, what is a good source to get music from? Well, you can go to Google and you can type YouTube audio library, okay, and YouTube provides you this library where you get these free songs to use, okay, and you can listen to these songs, like just play the play button, hit the play button, okay, and whichever you like, the different genres, different moods, just click on the download button and this song will download. For example, I have one of these saved here, so I'm going to go on to my folder where, let's say, I had this particular music track here, and you can see it comes in this project window, and I can just drag this song here and just place it right. Let's say I wanted it for this bike ride, okay, so you can see now it's on the second track, which is not the muted one. We muted the track which had the inbuilt DSLR audio, but this one is still going, so the music will play. I can see that looks pretty good or sounds pretty good. Now what you can also do is, let me just kind of push this back in so that you can see, if I just open up this track, if you just go to this track here and just along these lines, you can just drag this down to open up the track, and you can see from the waveforms that the audio level is kind of high right now. There are a lot of ways to correct this, but as a beginner, the easiest way is that, let's say if you wanted to just reduce this volume of this track, maybe you're talking over it and you just want this playing in the background in a very subdued manner. So you can always reduce the volume from here like this. Just click on this little bar that you see, and when you reduce this, you can see it changes the decibel value. It's putting it, you can see it in that caption there. And now if I play it, you can see it'll just be obviously of lesser volume. So maybe you can even have a voice over this and over this, and you can it just kind of feels nicer and just kind of gives your vlog a more professional feel. So I just thought I'll show you this. All right, so I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.